Shabbat Shalom to everyone who is part of our service this evening. I'm very honored to be able to speak with you. We Jews in America are outnumbered. You look at the statistics and it's kind of overwhelming. 43% of Americans are Protestants, 20% are Catholics, 2% are Mormons, 26% are unaffiliated, that's a whole other discussion. 2% are Jews. We Jews live in a Christian country. Not politically, but culturally. There is a national Christmas tree. Holiday festivals in schools are filled with Christmas music. Public Christmas decorations abound. Numerous Christmas parties are everywhere. And we Jews have several choices. We can reject this completely and move to Israel. My granddaughter and grandson who live in Israel, they barely have any idea what Christmas is. We can create a cocoon. We can live in Jewish communities like Crown Heights in Brooklyn and not see Christmas or hear a carol. We can embrace and make it part of who we are. My approach is to be passionately and uncompromisingly Jewish, affirming my distinctiveness and respecting that there are other flavors of religion in America which make us a healthy and tolerant society. Now here's my difficulty. We Jews spend a great deal of time trying to understand Christians, and I fear that it's not reciprocal. In my experience, most Christians know little about Judaism. And this limits their understanding of themselves and sometimes leads to Christian triumphalism, in other words, an attitude that one religion is superior to another. Christianity is constructed from Judaism. And if Christians do not know about Judaism, they cannot know their own Christianity. Let me express it a little differently. Christmas is a story of a Jewish boy born in the Galilee. Does a Christian in church on Christmas Eve think about who Jesus really was? You can sing, for example, the 16th century Christmas carol, God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. O tidings of comfort and joy, O tidings of comfort and joy. No expression that Jesus was born a Jew. Christmas Judaicizes Jesus. If I had a chance to speak to a Christian group on Christmas, Becky and Nathan, you've got to get me an opportunity to do that.
All right.
I mean, you have the connections I don't.
I'm gonna make this happen.
Okay, you're going to make it happen within the next 5 years.
2021, baby.
2021?
Yeah.
Okay.
Time is now.
If I had a chance to speak to a Christian group on Christmas, to describe who Jesus actually was from a modern Jewish perspective, here is what I would say. Jesus was a Jew. He was born a Jew. He was reared as a Jew. He taught as a Jew. He died as a Jew. His language was Aramaic, the language of the Jews in the first century. Jesus had no understanding he would be the founder of a separate religion. His disciples originally had Hebrew names. For example, Simon the Zealot was Shimon. Thomas was Tahom. Bartholomew was Bartalmei. John was Yochanan. They were a bunch of Jewish men. There were many sects in ancient Judaism, and we are not certain which one, if any, Jesus was part of. But he was a good Jew from the Galilee who preached Judaism. He was not a rabbi. He was not a prophet. He most probably was a Jewish charismatic teacher and healer. He believed in God as a Jew. He never heard the word Christianity. He kept the Sabbath. He kept the Jewish dietary laws. He wore tzitzit fringes on the corners of his garment. He recognized the importance of the temple in Jerusalem, and these are things, if you read carefully the Gospels, this is what it tells us. Everything that he taught had already been stated in Judaism. For example, in Matthew chapter 22, verse 37 through 40. When asked, what are the most important commandments, Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 5, it's from the Shema. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it, love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments. That's what Jesus says. One of Jesus' most celebrated statements in the Sermon on the Mount is, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. It is a restatement of Psalm 3. The meek shall inherit the earth and delight themselves in the abundance of peace. Jesus' pronouncement that if anyone strikes you on the right cheek, turn to him on the other also, Matthew 5, verse 39, is a restatement of the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 30. Let him offer his cheek to him who smites him. What are Jesus' final words on the cross? My God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from helping me from the words of my groaning? It's the opening words of Psalm 22, right before the psalm that we know, Psalm 23. Even the words of the Lord's Prayer is largely taken from our Kaddish prayer. Jesus' politics were Jewish. He lived in a time of Roman oppression of the Jews. He felt, like most Jews of the time, the bitter oppression of Rome and shared the Jewish longing for independence. He criticized the Jews of his day for their shortcomings. He sometimes argued with the priest or with the rabbis, but his intention was not to renounce Judaism. He never denied his Jewish commitment. He did not reject Jewish tradition. Matthew chapter 5, verse 17. Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. Perhaps he can be seen as a reformer within Judaism, advocating a simplified folk Judaism, but clearly he was always within Judaism. Jesus was condemned by Pontius Pilate and crucified by the Roman soldiers as a Jewish political rebel. Jesus died on the cross as thousands of Jews of his time. And here is the most important point. The majority of Jews never believed that Jesus was the Messiah or that the Messiah had come. We Jews could not accept that he could be more than human. We could not agree that he was the begotten Son of God. And in the end, he did not do what a Messiah is supposed to do according to Judaism, redeem the world, to fix it. Jesus was eventually transformed from a charismatic Jew and lover of Israel to a sworn enemy of the Jewish people with the Gospel of John, chapter 8, quoting Jesus as berating the Jews as children of Satan who are condemned to damnation in hell. This is unhistorical and really character manipulation that led to 2,000 tragic years of Christian anti-Judaism. Friends, I am pro-Christianity. I believe that it is an overwhelmingly powerful force for good in the world. And it's an instrument in reality for sharing with the world so many of Judaism's fundamental teachings. But in our interreligious conversation, Christians need to see us and hear us. Out of respect for the Jews, they need to understand who we think Jesus really was. In my opinion, this will strengthen Christians because they will know who they are. If Jesus were alive today, I know what he would be doing. He would not be gazing at a tree and opening presents or drinking eggnog, but lighting Shabbat candles, saying Kiddush, reciting the liturgy that we chanted tonight. And he would be saying to us this evening what we say to each other. Shabbat Shalom. We are going to continue in our service